Hey, so as promised, here is a quick instructional on how to implement the cookie manager that I've made myself and made freely available on daveoldacre.co.uk for small businesses to take and use and provide a better experience with cookies for their users. So here's a quick demo. As you can see on the bottom of the page here, we've just got a cookie banner. It is on a white background, so if I scroll down, you'll see it's just on a white background there. We've got an accept all, which accepts all cookies. We've got a reject button, which blocks all cookies, and then we've also got the option to click here, and this opens up a preferences panel, and we can toggle these on and off as we want to, and then when we save our choices, that will then save the user's preferences to their browser. As you can see, once you've saved your settings, you get a little option here just to manage your settings again. The idea here is that users are meant to be able to freely access the options to update their cookie settings as easily as they can access the options to accept them or reject them in the first place. Well, how are we going to implement this? Well, if you head to daveoldacre.co.uk, you will find the free cookie manager article, so click in there, and what you'll see here is there is a link here to download the Google Tag Manager container, and that's how this works. This all works through Google Tag Manager. So if you don't have Google Tag Manager installed yet, go and install that first. It's really simple to do, and there's plenty of instructions from Google on how to create an account and implement it on your website, but it is super simple. Once you've done that, you can right click on the link, and if you choose save link as, it will save the Google Tag Manager container, and just save that somewhere you're going to remember it. So we'll save it to the desktop, and then once you've done that, what you can do is head to Google Tag Manager. So what we've just downloaded is a Google Tag Manager container, and that contains all the information, all the details that we need to be able to implement this. So what we need to do first is import that container into our instance of Google Tag Manager. So we go to admin, and then we go to import container. The first thing you need to do is just select the file you downloaded, so GTM workspace, saved it to the desktop, and then we're going to merge this with an existing workspace. So we'll choose the default workspace, and we want to merge all of the tags, triggers and variables that we're going to import as well, and we want to rename any conflicting tags. Now, I've tried to use naming conventions in this that won't clash with anything anyone might already have in a Google Tag Manager instance, but it's always worth renaming and double checking that nothing is going to be changed from your existing Google Tag Manager installation. So as we can see here, we've got some new tags, we've got some new triggers, we've got some new variables. Nothing is being modified or deleted. You can view detailed changes if you want to, but just hit confirm once you've done that. So as you can see, our Tag Manager instance has now had 19 changes made to it, and that's everything from triggers to variables to tags, and these are the things that will allow you to control the setting of cookies for your users. Okay, so let's take a look at this in action. What we're going to do is set up a fake Google Analytics tag, and then we're going to show you how to use the triggering rules to make sure that the analytics code and therefore the cookies are only firing when the user is happy for them to do so. So what we're going to do is click new, and we'll just give our tag a name. We'll just call it GA, and we'll choose a tag, and we'll choose a GA4 tag. We'll give it a measurement ID, and then in triggering, there's two types of triggering rules you can set in Google Tag Manager. One is a firing rule, and that is when these conditions are true, this trigger will load the tag. The other one is an exclusion rule, and this is when these triggers are false, it won't fire at all. So what we need to do is click into triggering. Now what you'll notice is we've got 7 exclusion rules and 7 firing rules. The firing rules obviously are the conditions, if they're true, that will fire the tag, and the ones that are exclusion are where if those conditions are true, it will block a tag from firing. And basically this is all controlled by the user's interaction with the cookie manager. So if they click to accept all, a firing rule will trigger the tag. If they manage their cookie settings and toggle them, a trigger will acknowledge that and it will fire the tag. Again, if a user goes in and rejects certain cookies, the triggers will pick up on that and then block the tag from firing. And effectively what you need to do is just add the right exclusion rules and firing rules to each trigger to be able to control the cookies associated with that trigger. So you'll notice that there's 3 groups of firing rules and exclusion rules here as well. So we've got functional, performance and targeting. Now these all relate to different bits of code and different bits of tracking. So functional is functionality to do with your website which the user may want to object to, so things like saving account details in a cookie. Performance cookies are things like Google Analytics. It's any kind of tracking or insight tools that you use. And then targeting is things like ad code. So anything like social media targeting or tracking pixels and things like that. That's all to do with how you target a user with ads. So again, that's what you'd use that for. In the case of Google Analytics, like I say, this is performance. So we're going to select multiple firing rules here. So we're going to select a performance click, performance page load, and we also want the accept all click. So this is just covering if a user clicks the accept all button on the cookie manager as well. So we'll select those, click add, and you can see it's added all of these. But what we also want to do is add the exception. So these are the things that will stop the tag from firing as well. So we need the same on the exclusion. So performance click, performance page load, and exclusion reject all click. And those three are the opposite of the first three. Once we've done that, we can save this tag, and that will allow our users to manage and control how Google Analytics is tracking them, because Google Analytics cannot work without cookies. Therefore, we have to be able to block this from being used against the user if they don't want it to be used. And save your tag, and then if you want to, you can go and preview the changes to make sure they're working, make sure things are firing as you expect them to, and then you've implemented the cookie management solution, which will give your users the best experience and allow them to manage their cookies in a way that they're happy with. So that's it. If you've got any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share as well on social if you know anyone else who's running a website who could benefit from this, and keep checking back to find out more free digital marketing advice.